Hello, everyone. How are you today? It's Colleen Suchecki here, and I am excited to be talking about the Akashic Records today. What are the Akashic Records, Colleen? You may be thinking. Well, I'm going to answer that for you. Also, linking it to what do the Akashic Records have to do with healing parent-child relationships and strain dynamics. It is actually a really powerful resource that, if you're open to it, can have profound opportunities for healing in your relationship. So, all right, let's get started. So the Akashic Records are an energetic database. So if you think back to back in the day when we used to have like a library card catalog, right, where you looked up books by like their number and stuff like that. So each soul has a record, and basically you just use basic information and in order to access this record. So it's basically just and this information is accessed psychically. So it's an energetic database. Every single soul has a record. So if you know specific information, you can tap into the record of that soul and get very powerful information. All right. So that might sound crazy to you, but if you're open-minded enough, again, it is really had profound impact in not only my life and my relationship with my kids, but in my clients' lives and changing their dynamics. So so what does that have to do with healing a relationship with a parent and a child? So the way that I was trained in accessing the Akashic Records, I go into your record, again, psychically, and there's specific information that I'm accessing. So some of that information is, who are you at soul level? We are all unique snowflakes. There is not one soul that is exactly like another. So I have been trained to tap into your unique energetic qualities that make you who you are at an energetic level. So when you know who you are at an energetic level, first of all, that can actually open the door for profound healing yourself, because so many of the things that we create in our life, the struggle, the pain, hardships, challenges, health issues, money issues, all of that can be linked to us making choices that are actually not in alignment with who we are at soul level. So we're actually like going against, it's called a divine soul blueprint. And every single one of us has a unique divine soul blueprint. So when you know what your soul blueprint is, you can then see from the records where in your life you may be making choices that are actually going against your blueprint. So it's, imagine, like Abraham Hicks says, like you're paddling upstream. When you're making choices against who you are at a soul level, you're like paddling upstream. It makes life very, very difficult. And then where this comes in with a dynamic with a child is, in the initial reading, I would also look at what your divine soul blueprint is, as well as what your child's divine soul blueprint is. And in my experience, oftentimes the child is actually very different. There are some very different energetic qualities that the child has that the parent is really trying to like unknowingly make the child, or have expectations that the child is someone other than they are. Like, we want them to be just like us, or, we push our expectations or our agendas on the child, which can cause a tremendous amount of friction in the relationship. And again, usually this is very unconscious. So when you know who you are at soul level, your divine soul blueprint, and when your child knows, and when you know your child's divine soul blueprint, you can not only support yourself and making choices that are authentic and aligned for you, but you can then look at and support your child in them making choices that are aligned and authentic for them. But at the core of it, it starts with you, right? It's like you got to put the oxygen mask on first. So, you can't, if you're consistently making choices that are out of alignment and going against who you really are, then it's going to be really hard for you to support your child in making authentic choices. So it's kind of like you start with you first and really knowing and really starting to see where can you start to make those choices that are more in alignment. So you're like going downstream, you're going with the flow of energy and really how your soul was built so that things are easier. Like when you are living within your blueprint and you're making choices from that place, life is easier. Things happen easier. Abundance is easier to attract. So then when you see those places within yourself, then you can also acknowledge who your child really is. Again, at a very deep energetic level. And really honor how, there may be some similarities and some differences, but really honoring and releasing those expectations that you have knowingly and unknowingly that you've placed on your child to really free them up to be who they are. And it's honestly a very powerful thing because our children, obviously, and again, depending on what their age is, like they came in this life, this world, without all of these things, without all of this conditioning, right? It's like living life here as a human on earth, and through society and through our own conditioning on what we experienced through our parents, through our relationship with our parents, we put all of this conditioning on them, and we put all of these shoulds and obligations, and it's really, so much of it is really just really like archaic, outdated programming. It's like you can't imagine that you're going to be running the same software as like the first software that was developed in Microsoft. Here we are 20 years later. You can't imagine that software is not going to be totally outdated. So it really requires us as the parent to do that deconditioning work and to really be aware of some outdated thinking and conditioning that we just naturally absorbed from our childhood, that we're kind of unknowingly usually placing on our children, that is causing a lot of friction or a lot of anger, resentment. Like all these things can really start to build up. So that is the power in really using the Akashic Records as a tool. It's very unconventional, right? It's a very unconventional way of looking at things, but also incredibly powerful. So I just love thinking outside the box. I love solving issues from outside the box. I think that's where really so much opportunity for healing and growth and transformation happens, is when we're doing things outside of the box. And the Akashic Records, in my opinion, is a very powerful resource that's unconventional, that can be a huge catalyst, knowing this information and really changing how you show up, not only in the relationship with yourself, first and foremost in the choices you're making, but then how you show up in the relationship with your child, and really honoring them and supporting them and making choices not choices that you think they should make, but choices that are authentic and aligned to who they are. So, all right, if you have any questions, hopefully this all makes sense. If you have any questions about anything I said, or if you're interested, if you are a parent who's having an issue with their relationship with their child, or someone, please reach out to me. I would be happy to support you in any way I can, and really kind of helping to facilitate some transformation in this area. I have worked with several clients in this manner, and the results have been profound. So if you're feeling the call, or you know someone who may be in need of this kind of service, please reach out to me. All right, have a great day.